Happy time zone, friends. This is Kitty from Kitty Crosses Animals. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are on the island of Cedar Grove, which I have been filming, getting up to 3 stars, and then my hard drive decided it didn't want to work anymore. So I had to continue building the island just because of the time constraints. So I wanted to walk you guys through what I've done already, and then I will continue to build the island in video format. So if you don't know about Kaylee Games Friendsgiving Challenge, this island is a part of that. So I'm going to pop these prompts up on the screen for you. So we do have 6 prompts that are required for this challenge. We have the pumpkin patch, the harvest market, the outdoor feast, and the harvest parade. We also have a pumpkin contest and a mush forest. So at this point, I do have each of these prompts completed. However, I still have a lot to do on the island, including my house interior, which is either a farmhouse, a feast prep, a cozy cottage, or a cider mill. So those are the prompts for this challenge, and I'm gonna go ahead and start walking you through Cedar Grove. Before we get started, I am going to show you guys the map. Now, mind you, this is a work in progress, so it is not quite done yet. For villagers, we have Bo, Tabby, Nan, Shep, Pecan, Pearl, Hazel, Butch, Kiki, and Maple. Personally, I am very pleased with this lineup, obviously, considering I came up with it. But I'm also very glad that their houses all go with the theme that I'm going for already. So luckily I didn't need to do HHP because I am borrowing a friend's Switch and they do not have HHP. So I wasn't planning on doing it on this island anyway. So as you can see, all of our buildings are still off on the beach because we haven't placed them yet. And we do have most of our houses placed besides Maple and Butch here. They are still on the beach as well. So I'm going to show you guys the layout that I'm planning. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start walking through this island. We are starting at the airport at the entrance. And the entrance is what I started as the Mush Forest. So we do have a bunch of mushroom furniture here. We have all the mush lamps, some dropped mushrooms, some log stools, some mush stools, what are those called? Mush logs. Off to the left here, we do have Nan's house, which is right next to the beach. The beaches are not completed yet. Like I said, Maple's house and my house are still here. And then we just have some terraforming back behind her house just to frame it in a little bit. I haven't decided completely on the terraforming that I'm doing, but I will show you what I'm thinking once I get there. So this path does lead up to resident services, this Mush Forest. Hello, Maple. We're not going to talk to her right now, but she's in our way. Excuse me, girl. I don't want to push you until you get mad. Oh, she's talking to Kiki. Excuse me. Thank you. All right, so this path does lead us up to resident services. So this is where you will wake up. And if we look at the map again, we can see that resident services isn't all that far away from the airport. But I did manage to make this path feel like it's a lot longer. So it feels like it's a lot farther away than it actually is. All right, if we come down this way, I'm going to go off to the right later on, but we're gonna come down this way. And here we have Tabby's house, and Tabby and Shep are the hosts of our outdoor feast here. Can I face this way? Yes, I can. All right, so we have Tabby and Shep that are hosting our Friendsgiving feast. There's tons of food to fill our bellies while we give thanks to all of those that we love and support us. And I just think it's a great way to celebrate with each other, you know, to stuff your bellies. get some good food, make some new memories. All right, and then we do have the museum on the beach here still, and Nook's Cranny. If we come off to this way, we have one of several pumpkin patches. But this one, we have wheat included. We have some bunny day decorations. We also have this spooky, I forget what it's called, spooky scarecrow. That's what it is. And then if we follow up this path is made by the one and only April Honey. If you're not following April Honey, you should be. She makes amazing custom codes and beautiful islands. So if you're not following her, go ahead and check her out. I'm sure all of you are, but you know, just in case. Here we have our pumpkin contest, which is actually inspired by a real life event that takes place in my hometown. We actually do have an annual giant pumpkin festival. So I think some people interpreted pumpkin contest as like a pumpkin carving contest, but I interpreted it as a pumpkin growing contest. So here we have our third place pumpkin, adorable, our second place pumpkin, and of course our several 100-pound pumpkin here wins the gold prize. All right, we are gonna continue up this way. As you can see, we have a little bakery here, so you can grab all of your tasty desserts for your Friendsgiving dinner. And if we follow this sidewalk, this leads us up to our harvest market. So we do have like a little cul-de-sac here. Before I get into that, I am just gonna show off this little centerpiece. Just some decorations so you guys can get a feel for the island vibe. And if we walk along the cul-de-sac, we do have a little farmer's market here, so you can pick up all of your goodies. We have our veggies and a casserole. Over on this way, we have our decoration shop, so you can get all of your seasonal decor. We also have a plant shop here. And this brings us right into our harvest parade. So if we follow this sidewalk along here, we have our hayride, and then we have our puppy parade, which I also lovingly refer to as my wiener walk, which is just a group of chihuahuas walking together. We have some chairs for the spectators here, and some bags for them to collect their candy that's being thrown. And of course, what would a parade be on Kitty's Island without some confetti? This parade is a little difficult to walk through, so if you come to visit, just keep that in mind. This path leads back down to Shep's house, so we're gonna keep going this way. And then here we have our prize pumpkins float with our people walking in the parade. Here's Shep, and this brings us right back to resident services. So if we come along this path here, if we go behind the parade, we do have Hazel's house off to, oops, this is Kiki's house. I lied to you. We do have Kiki's house behind the parade. And there is a path that continues along to Hazel's house. Hazel's house is on this side. We're not going to go in because, like I said, the houses aren't redecorated. So if you know what they look like, great. If you don't, you can always look them up. But we're not going to go in there today. Over here, we have Pearl's house. And Pearl is neighbors with Pecan. Pecan is not home. Pearl is home, but Pecan is not. But if we continue up this way, we have another pumpkin patch. And here I plan on doing pretty much the only terraforming on the island. So far, this is the natural terraforming that was there. But I do plan on doing a little more natural terraforming that I'm going to make a video on so you guys can kind of see how I do my terraforming on my islands, and maybe you can get a few tips. So that is going to be to come, so keep your eyes open for that. Over on this side across this bridge, this is where I have my flower storage, so there's nothing very exciting here. But I do need to thank JoJo Crosses for bringing me these flowers so I don't have to take a million trips to the treasure islands in order to find them. Okay. Hello, Pecan. How can I help you, girl? You'll never guess what. I probably won't. Oh boy, she thought of a nickname for me. What is it? What is it? Puddin'. I really don't like that. So, we're gonna say no. No good. I really just like when she calls me Chipmunk, even though that is her catchphrase and not her nickname for me. Okay, y'all, so I think it's time to talk about the future plans for this island. So we do have a couple paths that lead behind Hazel's house here. And this is going to lead to another brick path here. And behind Hazel's house, as of right now, or I should say behind the harvest market, as of right now, I have one house going here. But I think I'm actually going to put the houses back behind, kind of to the left of the pumpkin patch, up behind's boathouse across the river. That's where I'm going to put Maple and Butch's house. So we can just ignore this little plot here. But if we continue to go this way, this is where I'm planning on putting Abel's sisters, and it's right across the bridge from Nook's Cranny's permanent resident. Which if we come down this way, we kind of have like a double bridge moment going on here. I'm not really sure how necessary this is, or if I'm going to keep that bridge. But that's what we have going on for now. Back this way is where I plan on putting the museum. And I plan on continuing this river along this way and connecting it back here, so that where I'm standing on the map actually becomes like its own little island. As you can see, we're like kind of close to that right now where I'm standing. So we're getting there. The island is still in progress, but oops, didn't mean to open the map again. All right, and then really the only thing I have left to show you guys is where I plan on placing the campsite, which is over here by our secret beach. I really do love a beachside campsite. I think it always adds a nice touch. And I love that they have their little secret beach here for themselves as well. Well, friends, I know today wasn't a very long video, but as I said, I still have a lot of work to do on this island, but I couldn't leave you guys away. So thank you so much for joining me and checking out how Cedar Grove is coming along. I will continue to make some more videos for you guys, and hopefully you join me for those. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can see more from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.